Good morning, families. Today is March 18th, Wednesday, and I'm just going to go over really quick what your child will be working on and what is assigned to help you a little bit. So today in reading, you have Ned is Hot on willbooks.com. That is the website that I provided in the lesson plan that you received in the brown bag and also in your email. Once you read Ned is Hot, which is a very short book, very simple, one sentence per page, you can kind of get a feel for where your child is at in reading. If it's taking them a while to sound out the words, I suggest reading the book at least a couple times. Afterwards, you're going to be asking them, which part of the story do you like best? This is a conversation. You don't need them to write an answer. It's more so that you can get an understanding that your child understands what's happening in the book. If they don't answer that question in a way that makes you feel like they understand, once again, I suggest having them read it again a couple times, or even reading it yourself so that they can just stop thinking so much about the sounds and the words and be able to hear the story for itself. In language, you're working on the SP, the Skills Practice Book, page 1 and 2, and you're working on the sound ow, which is the OW sound. I usually ask the children to sound out the word many times. So if we're looking at this page, we would say O and W makes the sound ow, ow, ow. And you can help them just kind of start memorizing that sound. And you can let them know that the ow sound ends up in a lot of different words. And when you see it, now you can remember that ow is the sound it makes. They're going to see this picture and immediately they're going to say cow, ow. Then you're going to need to read them these directions, which say write the words in the sentence in the spaces provided, write a rhyming word to finish the last sentence. So on this page is basically just practice with copying the word on the line and then copying the sentence, take a towel to the shower twice. If they can't fit it on one line, they can just write it once on both the lines. And then at the bottom, they have the sentence, a cow that was brown went to the blank, and they can come up with whatever they want that rhymes with brown. I think obviously most kids, when they hear that sentence, will say the word town. A cow that was brown went to the town. On page 2, you have a picture of a cow and a picture of a flower, but you don't want to tell them that's what it is. You want to read them these words up here or have them read it themselves. Cat, cow, crow. And they decide what word needs to go down here. Shower, tower, flower. What word does this picture represent? I had a question from a parent asking me, what does the dictation section mean? That's a great question because I didn't explain it in the plans. Anytime you see dictation, you don't have to worry about this section unless you feel like giving your child extra work. So you can have them write the word cow again twice, flower again twice, and you could have them come up with a sentence for either word if you feel like it. That's up to you. Moving on to math, which is pages 7 and 8 in the math workbook. On these pages, it seems simple, but of course there is a bit of explaining that goes into this for your child. Not only do you need to read the sentence, but you have to explain to them that this is a comparing question and it's kind of like a true or false question, yes or no. So it says there are more butterflies than flowers. The kid will not only have to count each of the different objects and compare them, they're also going to have to write yes or no in that box once they figure that out. So that may take a little explaining. Once you explain one, usually they're able to understand what to do for the next 3. That's kind of how I do it in our class. So I would suggest having them count out the butterflies, writing the number next to it, count out the flowers, write the number next to it, and then ask themselves which number is bigger, and then reread the sentence. There are more butterflies than flowers. Is that true? Yes or no? On the next page, there's a lot of words. So that means once again, that I will need your help with them reading this if they're not a strong reader. So once again, you're just comparing, and this should go a little bit quicker for them because the pictures really show them the answer. It says, who has more apples, Nicole or Ryan? And it says, I have 3 apples, I have 5 apples. They can clearly see Ryan has more. Same with this section down here. So really in math, even though there's pictures and it's fun, they will need your help with reading it. And a lot of the time I let them color the pictures in the math book when they're done working. They love that. For writing, you are doing the page camping if you're starting writing today. I suggest reading them the directions, which says write a story about what you think is happening in this picture. Explain what the words say. He's eating some more. There's a campfire. She obviously has a marshmallow on her stick. Maybe even mention the fact that she has some tennis shoes on. Why does she have tennis shoes on? They're roasting marshmallows and there's a tent set up. It says during our nighttime campfire, and then you can have them complete. At first grade level, would I want them to go all the way to the bottom? No, but as long as they complete a sentence, I think that's enough practice, but it's up to you. Definitely have them trace these words very well. You don't want the letters going all over the place over the tracing because it shows that they're not putting in some care into their handwriting. And at the bottom, there's great examples too. I can start with a capital letter. I can use spaces between words. I can use a period to end the sentence. Just reminders about punctuation that will be helpful for them. Lastly is science for this week. And science, I only gave 6 pages because we typically don't do science every single day of class anyway. So it's up to you whether you want to start science or not today or save some for some other days throughout the next 2 weeks. But if you are starting, all you need to do is have them cut out the different images and place them on the sentence that matches the underlined word. And all of them are about observing nature. And as always, I always allow them the opportunity to color any pictures. And they know that I always say that you want to cut, color, glue so that your picture isn't all gluey when you're trying to color it. Lastly, the extra math work packet. This is not going to be graded. This is just if you want to give your child some extra work, which I think some of them are really going to be wanting that. So that's about it for today. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. Have a great day learning, and I appreciate you guys.